You won't see anything but trucks streaming into this Southern California venue, for here utility has been transformed into rolling works of art. In this case, a celebration of GMC and Bowtie pickups.
Chevy truck, that's it.
Outside Anaheim, California is Canyon RV Park, where campgrounds are temporarily turned into showgrounds for the annual Brothers Truck Parts GMC Chevy Show and Shine. Restored, modified, the best show trucks in the region are gathered here, including this excellent example.
My truck is a 1965 Chevy C10 long bed. The truck actually belonged to the uncle of an ex-girlfriend of mine that just had it in the backyard. It was just kind of rotting away. Just thought, man, you know what? I would love to go ahead and build one of these things. Just a little bit of work has been put into this truck. We did take it down to the very last bolt, completely powder coated frame, built all the way up. It took about 2.5 years to build. It was a student project that we built over at Cerritos College. The truck was originally called Project Lower Learning, and then after a couple years of it being done, we reinvented the truck by doing a different paint pattern on there, and now she's called Rosie. What we did to lower the vehicle was we did a complete frame-off restoration. The suspension is a completely brand new suspension on it. In this truck specifically, we had to go ahead and raise the bed floor. So what we did is we went ahead and fabricated new cross seals and a whole new subframe so that the truck had clearance underneath. And the truck was originally white pine wood, and we stained it and went ahead and got the billet inserts for the truck bed. The paint was actually all House of Colors paint, and we started off with just a bright white base. And then what we did is added a platinum pearl to it, and then we added a touch of blue. The top is candy apple red, all House of Colors paint, all Valspar primering underneath. Their truck was originally all red up on top, and then later on when we reinvented the truck to change the pattern on it, my buddy Tom McWeeny from Customs Inc. went ahead and did that nice rose pattern lace, and then of course did all the pinstriping on it too. There's quite a few little details to it. Like, I always wanted a barefoot pedal, so the moment that I finished this truck, went over to Moon Eyes, got my barefoot pedal and put it on. The truck originally had a column shifter, but we went ahead and we swapped it out to a floor shifter, changed the linkage on there. The engine is a 1968 327. We blew the engine, and so we bored it out to a 350 because 350 parts are cheaper than 327 parts. It's a cruiser, you know, so it doesn't have a lot of horsepower. I never like to build my trucks to go fast or my vehicles to go fast. I like to go slow, I want to be seen.
Want to be seen? Make a delivery in this truck.
My truck's a 1955 Chevy panel. I had it since 2000, going on 15 years. I got it out of a body shop in East LA. The previous owner didn't pick it up, left it there. So I heard that it was a Helms truck, that they delivered donuts and all the wood was still there. So I picked it up for $900 and just a shell, and I took it home and started from scratch pretty much. So it was like a vision, you know, I seen them before, but not all done. And I just figured I could do it. And took it to a friend in Huntington Park. They pretty much restored the whole thing. Took about 7 years, 2 years of body work alone. It had a lot of work, it had a lot of metal, rotten metal. They rewelded piece by piece and no bundle. The trim in the windows was the hardest to get. Couldn't find them until we finally got them. At the Pomona Swap Meet, they open at 5 in the morning, you know, you gotta go and walk the whole swap meet until you find your part. The interior, all it is 2 bucket seats, but they redid the whole floor, and the fabric on the material is of a 59 Impala. The wood got redone, they stripped it, polished it, and re-varnished. The engine is a stock 235, rebuilt, but it's got a bigger cam, dual carbs, headers, has a Mustang 2 front end, and airbags, fork link the back. It's been done since 2009. I took it as far as Santa Maria, San Diego, and drives like a car. It drives real good. Doesn't overheat, does nothing. Runs like a champ.
Want to give your ride show and go quality? Check out this week's Lokar Lowdown.
This week's Lokar Lowdown is about dipsticks, trans engine, and Lokar is pretty much coming out with something new every day.
We are. We work real hard at trying to keep up with the trends and what's going on in the industry. We also have a lot of dipsticks that cover people. If we don't have something that you need, we can make you a custom.
Yes, and made in the USA in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah, that being the manufacturer, that kind of gives us the flexibility. If you do need a custom, we can go out there and get it done for you.
And whether it's engine or whether it's transmission, also like we deal with, you know, in NHRA with our locking, and NIHRA as well, Bright and Midnight series.
We've got the Bright, the Midnight, which is the black braided stainless steel. And we've got new applications coming soon, like the Ford Coyote, and you're looking at some of the LS applications as well.
And lifetime warranty, again, made in the USA, whether you're looking for engine, whether you're looking for transmission or both. Check them out, lokar.com, and you can also find them on Facebook.
This edition of the Lokar Car Show is being brought to you by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology. Original Parts Group, the world's largest source for GMA body parts and accessories. Brothers Truck, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration. And by Lokar, quality plain and simple. Welcome back to Canyon RV Park. GM Suburban is the longest continuously used nameplate in the world, as this example can attest.
Well, it's a 47 Suburban, Corvette engine, Corvette rear end, Corvette front end. Pretty much full custom car, suicide doors, and got big wheels on it. It took a long time. I've been working on it 5 years. I built all the framework, I did all the brackets. I didn't buy a kit for the front end. I just took the control arms off of that. And 3.5 years just in body mods and paint. So it's been quite a project. It's not done yet. Still got wiring and interior to do, but pretty much there. Found it in Hemet, and it was just a rust bucket, mixed mask pieces and everything. It wasn't anything to look at. It basically sits in my shop, and I look at it while I'm working every day. So, you know, come up with the ideas. A lot of it's in my head, you know, kind of visually. You know, kind of look at it and figure out what I want to do. You know, because I enlarged the windows in the back, and I have pop-out glass in it, which is different. You know, and again, like it's all smooth. There's no handles on it. It's kind of a slow process for me. You know, but it gives me a lot of time to figure it out before I do something I don't want and I have to change it back. Well, I have a few trucks at home already that I've done, so no, I'll keep it around. You know, maybe my retirement one of these days. Who knows? I want to enjoy it a little bit.
I love the early Chevys. The 50 Chevys, the trucks are fantastic.
It's a 1954 Chevy pickup truck, 3100 series. It's actually been in the family for quite some time. My uncle, my dad's brother, had the truck out in TJ, Mexico, and he was building it, so I have pictures of me as a little kid on it. Along the line, he gave it over to my grandpa, and when I was in high school, about 15 years old, I made a deal with my grandpa to buy it from him. At the time, it had been parked for about 10 years. Sat in a million colors so it wouldn't rust out. My dad helped me get it running, and we drove it back, and over the years got it running so I could drive it out to high school. Then after I graduated, just started doing work here and there to where it looks like where it is now. Souped up with all the vintage goodies. Most of the work had been done about the last 6 years or so. The body work, chop top, about 4.5 inches, suicide doors, everything shaved, Frenched, smoothed out, 59 Cadillac taillights Frenched into the rear. Everything else has been almost removed as far as chrome goes. The bumpers are not the factory bumpers. They're from a 55 to 59 Chevy pickup truck. Probably still going to modify the front bumper. I don't really like how it fits, but I'm just working out the bugs. The wheels are the smoothies, but they have the bullet coming out of the center, kind of like the spider caps would look, but without the spider cap. And then it's got the old school Denman white walls. The dashboard is a 59 Impala cut down to fit with a 60 Chrysler Imperial steering wheel modified bomber style. The motor is a 235 straight 6, but it's milled over 60. I have the chrome strips and the wood in the back. I have everything painted white underneath. I just like the look of the tonneau cover on there to make it look clean. Chopping the top on the truck like this is not as easy as one may think. It's a long process. I didn't do it myself, but I did help out to have it done. Took pictures along the way and gave a hand wherever I could. but you essentially have to stretch the roof to make it fit back the way it was, because you're not leaning anything down. And then the alignment of the doors and front windshield, which has been a pain. I was trying to go for like an early 60s custom. There wasn't too many trucks built back in the day. There was a few, like the Rod & Custom Dream truck, that was part of the inspiration for something like this, but not too many of them. It turns heads.
You walk around, you see a few that are under construction, but you see a lot that are professionally built by just guys like everyday guys.
My truck is a 1952 GMC, something that I've been restoring for like the last 15 years. When I first got the truck, it basically from a wrecking yard. In the younger days, you had to go out and find the parts and mix match everything. Today, Brothers and other stores there, everything's pretty much a kit now. I started from ground up. I had full frame clip from 79 El Camino, just basically restoring everything, just paint, chroming I had sent out, but I've done most of the work myself and putting it together. Some of the head rings and stuff, they're out of a Buick, so it does have some car parts that give it a different look. And the rear bumper, the splash guard has been cut and modified to fit a different year bumper. Just different things on here for the power brakes, steering. I made my own battery box from a stepping plate off the running boards that I just cut and modified. Give it a little texture so you're not just looking straight at the battery. I've seen similar things on other people's cars, trucks, and that I kind of made my own. The whole thing's been a challenge. Like I said, it's sitting on a car frame. It's been clipped and stuff, the airbags and stuff. It's more of a hobby to me, putting it together. You know, fun. I'm still working on it. You come to shows, you see other ideas that people have and stuff, and there's always something you want to change later.
Welcome back to Anaheim, California, and the Brothers Truck Parts Show and Shine.
This is a 1952 Chevrolet half-ton truck. When I first got this truck, it was really bad. It was primered yellow. It was rusted out. Cab corners were rusted out. The floorboard was rusted out. All you could see under the hood was black grease. There were rats that made a nest behind the back seat. The interesting thing is when I first saw it in the Auto Trader online, the guy said that it was about 75% restored. Well, all he did was put carpet in it and some rubber grommets. I put my feet on the floorboard in the passenger side and almost went through Flintstone style. So I had to tear it out, put a new floor pan on the passenger side. The wood was shot. I mean, it wouldn't have even made decent firewood. The metal strips were rusted out, so I had to tear all that out, and I had to buy a new bed kit. I stained it, and then I put a coat of clear, then I had to sand that down, did that 3 times. I took this thing all the way off the frame. I replaced almost every single nut and bolt on this myself. Had the engine sent out, rebuilt by Wayne's, transmission, then the final body work and paint, but other than that, I pretty much assembled the whole thing. Amount of time involved in putting this truck together, 5 to 6 years. I've probably finished the truck all together, for the most part, about 6, 7 years ago, but I've been doing things here and there, things I didn't do right the first time, make it more original. Because I was first going to do like a rockabilly type theme. Now it's pretty much trying to be more original. My dad had one when I was a kid. I only remember it from pictures, I was too young, and it was a dark brown, so I went with the saddle brown. And then I had a pinstripe by Wild Bill out in Riverside. And then the accessories I have on it are a visor. I have an original style compass, original style turn indicator. I have a repop flashlight holder. And the main thing is to try to make the car as period correct as you can. A lot of guys like to modernize and put a V8 in there. This thing is all drums, it's 3 on the tree, straight 6. The engine is a higher pressure model out of a 57, but it's still straight 6. The car club I'm in, Dukes, our chapter is all bombs, 54 and older, which is my style, because I just like old school cars. I like them original, sometimes a little extra chrome is nice.
Oh, the best part is just all the C10 club guys meeting up, and the scene just keeps growing and growing.
The truck's a 1962 C10. It was a step side originally. My sister was the second owner. She bought it in '82 off our neighbors that we grew up next to that were the original owners. I've spent probably the last 14 years sort of going through it. I shaved the turn signals. I added a Chevy script in the glove box. I shaved the dash. I did 30 patch panels on it. Like, it lived in Colorado for a couple of years, so it was really rusty. I did all the metal work, but I couldn't finish it off because I was living in a condo, so I had a lot of the suspension and motor work done at Deuce's Wild in Fillmore, and I just had that and the trailer shot at Sataquai Auto Body. Just got it back, so lifelong dream fulfilled. The trailer's a 1947 teardrop. No company manufactured them. I just think people have never seen it. You know, everybody keeps asking me if it's an Airstream. They were sold in the back of like Road and Track and Popular Mechanics. They would sell you with a rolling chassis, and then after World War II, they had so much leftover aluminum that they started making Airstreams, like door-to-door salesmen for aluminum siding for your house, and this was another thing they did. And they're getting harder and harder to come by, so they're getting a little more and more popular. And I pretty much bought the trailer the way it is, except for the paint. I got a really good deal on it, and the guy I bought it from, they did all the woodwork. They went through and just did everything. My girlfriend and I, she's 6 foot. We have 2 dogs, and I'm 6'3". Basically, it's a bed. Your legs pretty much go almost all the way under the drawers right there. Sleeps comfortably. It's like 2 inches shy of a queen bed. When it's cold outside, it's really warm in there, and when it's hot outside, it's kind of cool in there. Like, it's really well insulated, so it's great for camping. Propane works, everything works. I like it.
It turns out a lot of people like the whole concept of a one-brand truck show. Put on by the Flanders Brothers of Brothers Truck Parts, the event includes many displays and activities.
We started this in our parking lot. It was about our 3rd year in business, and we thought that we'd throw a show just to kind of get some people to the business, and we gave a 10% discount to bring them in. Didn't realize that it was going to be too big for us to handle. So that year we decided no more selling parts. It's going to be all about customer appreciation. We moved the show to here, and the rest is history.
It's bittersweet because you're really excited about the turnout, but at the same time, it creates a logistics nightmare for us because we got to hustle all those guys in and try not to make them sit out on the street so long that they're all overheating and spilling radiator fluid out on the highway. But yeah, it's a nice feeling to know that people are coming out to enjoy the show and that it's successful.
We've been pushing more toward the social media end of the business. As far as marketing goes, I think that's kind of where we're headed. And with this, it not only gives us the outlet to put it on social media, our Instagram, Twitter, things like that, but the hundreds of trucks that show up, they're taking pictures, they're putting it out there. So I mean, the exposure that we're getting is really good in that aspect.
We're just about to celebrate 20 years, I mentioned that earlier. And these people that we met throughout the course of business, including the truck show, yeah, we've been friends with forever. I mean, we see guys here that we maybe only see once a year, but it's like you're old friends. The minute you see the guy, hey man, how you doing? And a high five or a solid handshake, and yeah, it's very rewarding.
It's funny, there was a customer that I talked to this morning said that the first year we were here, my wife was mad because she was pregnant at the time. And he said, I brought my daughter back this year. And he said, I knew it was your 17th year because it's her 17th birthday this year.
This edition of the Lokar Car Show is being brought to you by ISPRO. We know diesel. Brothers Truck, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration. Professional Products, the premier line of affordable aftermarket engine performance products. And by Lokar, quality plain and simple. Welcome back to Canyon RV Park and our final pair of 1953 Chevys with 2 completely different approaches.
My truck is a 1953 Chevrolet truck. It's a patina look is what they call it. It's like a barnyard or sitting out in the field somewhere, and however the weather weathers it is the way it is. But I kind of did not want to wait 60 years, so I took and matched the color paint and added some white and gray and took some steel wool and just rubbed it all out and put clear coat on it, 3-stage paint. I got a Valari front clip in it, which means I can adjust it up 4 inches or lower it 4 inches. I got aluminum radiator. It's a 327 small block out of a 1966 Corvette. I got a 57 Chevy rear end in it. It's all original metal. There's no aftermarket metal on this truck at all. No Bondo, no Cancer. It's all original metal. The only thing that I really altered on it was I Frenched in the headlights and I recessed the gas tank from behind the seat to the bed. And someone had taken some beer cans and riveted the vent for the cowling. So I took that off and bought a vent for it so I could have air come into the cab area. And then the radio dash was kind of a little messed up, so I redid that a little bit too, and so I can put a radio in it. It's pretty much stock original other than the drivetrain, so it's more freeway worthy. I got pretty lucky. I bought it out of Arizona about 10 years ago and been driving and fixing it up as I've gone along, and this is where I'm at. But they say you're never done with them. My answer is I can't keep a girlfriend or a wife, so I have a couple old trucks and a couple Harleys, so I'm good to go.
It's a Chevy 53 Chevy pickup. I have this truck 25 years now. It was a farm truck in Delhi, California, and it was on a walnut orchard. And a friend of mine, I had another truck. He goes, hey, my girlfriend has another truck. You're interested in buying it? I said, sure, I'll take a look at it. So I went over there, and it was in better shape, so I bought it for $500. I used to work on everybody else's car, so I finally took a year off, said, I'm going to work on my truck. So I got this done in 1 year. I cut the front end off. I put a 73 Monte Carlo on there, clipped it myself, and I put a crate motor in there, 350. Transmission is a 350 automatic. Rear end is a 76 Noah rear end, and I had to reinforce it for the weight of the batteries, so that's supported. On the back is the hydraulics. They're 4-pump setup, and I'm running 10 batteries. It goes up pretty quick, and I have fun with it. I bounce it a lot and scrape it on the freeway. The whole frame is painted, the front and back, so all I got left to do is chroming the undercarriage and a little bit more detail on the transmission, and I want to put more graphics on the outside of the truck. That paint job is 15 years old. The top graphics on the truck has been added about 2 years ago, and the back of the tailgate's been added about 2 years ago. The graphics been added on. Me and my buddy, we pulled the engine out and we painted a whole engine compartment 2 years ago. So, I've just been moving forward, the last 2-3 years, and I still like to do more to it. The inside is a little custom. I put a chrome tilt steering wheel just not too long ago. And the grenade, I wanted it for the shifter, but it's actually a real grenade for like the 50 styles, So it's too heavy. So when I was driving and bouncing, it would always drop down to lower gears. It's just a hobby, This is my hobby, just like everybody else out here. We all have the same thing in common. We love trucks. We like fixing them up and driving them. I drive mine all the time. I don't trailer it, barely sell my trailer. I drive it everywhere.
That's it for now. But there will be more custom and restored trucks when we return to Anaheim next week.